on the board, and I've picked Brock's answer intentionally. And I've picked Brock's answers because he understands what's going on, but he probably won't get full marks. So for those of us who want to see me make a fool of myself, that's essentially the image we've got. We've got that's 39 centimetres, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's 39, this top one's 30, is it? And then you've got 4 and 7 for the other dimensions. I think. What have I done wrong? Something wrong. 7 high. This one's 7 high. That's what it is. Yeah, you get the idea. I'm not going to pretend I can draw. No point starting that now. You got a shape. It's a composite shape because there's 2 different shapes there, correct? And it's asking us to find the volume. Now, I would argue that Brock completely understands that. Who would argue the same thing? Who thinks that Brock understands the problem? Who thinks that Brock's got the right answer? I think he's got the right numerical answer. Who thinks Brock's getting full marks for this question? And that's unfair. We're assessing Brock's mathematical understanding. He understands that. But he's made a couple of little things, and it's not about his understanding, it's about his setting out. And he's not the only one. I've walked around the room and I've seen just about every paper has had these errors riddled through it. So it's a really good point in time to reflect on these things and try and improve our communication and get free marks. Sweet. So the first thing with Brock's working out here, Brock, what do you reckon you could fix up? Because I think you've done really well. You've got your equal signs underneath, you've stated your formula, you've put in the right values, you've got the right answer. But there's things we can do a little bit better. Which shape are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So can we label them? Why don't we call the bottom one A and the top one B? Cool. And you can write VA, 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 VB, VB, VB. Sweet. That's half. You've done a fair bit there. Any other little silly errors that have occurred along the way? Henry, can you see anything?
The answer.
The answer? This is more of a math convention. Centimetres cubed. Because this is centimetres times centimetres times centimetres, which makes that a centimetre cubed. Oh. Cool. Very good. If Brock wanted to get super really good marks, he could write VA is equal to the volume of shape A. Well, I can't draw. And VB is equal to the volume of shape B. But that's a bit above and beyond. One more piece of working, because what's the question asking us to find? Jerry?
The full volume of solids.
The full volume. So one more line, VT equals, what do you reckon? VA plus VB. Does it have to be A and B? Could I make it V1, V2, VQ, VR? It doesn't matter what you call them, as long as you are identifying that this is the volume equation for one shape and this is the volume equation for the second shape. Sweet. And then I add my 2 values together, 1092 centimetres cubed plus 360 centimetres cubed, and I get 1452 centimetres cubed. Cool? So even though, and this frustrates me because I feel if I was to talk to Brock about this problem, he understands it. He could tell me what was going on. He knows exactly what's going on. And he only gets about half the marks that he deserves for that problem. Can we do anything about it? Can I go to the QCAA and change how they mark assignments? I can't do anything. I've got no power to do that. So what can we do about it? What can we do to deal with this problem? Because it's a problem that, again, I'd say more than 60% of people in this room, when I just walk around and check their work, had something wrong with their working. What's something we can do? Why do we do that? Why do we make those mistakes? What do you reckon, Coop? Why do people make those mistakes? With their working out?
Is that a rush?
Yeah, rush. Are they thinking about it? Often when you make mistakes with your working out, it's because you're not thinking through that lens. You're not thinking, I need to show my working at every single step. So we're going through these problems, and these are great problems, these composite volume problems, to practice our working out, to practice doing those things. And if you do it a few times, what you'll find is that it becomes natural. You start thinking about those things when you write up a problem. This extends into your senior maths. When we mark your IA1, IA2, IA3, your external exams, they have on those papers, on those exam papers, in every maths, they'll have a marking scheme. And in that marking scheme, for example, with this question, they would have 1 mark for the correct answer. They would have 1 mark for showing the formula. They would have 1 mark for correct units. Brock just got 2 out of 3. Where did he lose his mark? He showed the formula. Where did he lose his mark? The correct units. Oh, and he didn't get to VT, so he probably loses 2. 2 out of 3 for that question. For something where if I walked up to him and said, look, what's going on with this question? Oh, the answer is this because this is what I'm going to do. He knows exactly what's going on. Make sure you're scraping as many marks as you possibly can. Sweet. We're going through the rest of these problems, question 2 and 3. You're going to show as much working as possible. Identify what you're talking about, list your formulas, get a volume total, go from there. Sweet.